Good morning. My name is Kate Breslin. I'm the president and CEO of the Schuyler Center for Analysis and Advocacy, and my role here today is small but important because I get to introduce all of you. I get to introduce Jonathan Bowles and introduce the day to you. So, thank you all for being here. Again, my name's Kate Breslin. The Schuyler Center for Analysis and Advocacy is thrilled to be working with the Center for an Urban Future to sponsor this event. We are a 141-year-old statewide nonprofit organization that for these many years has had as its mission shaping state policies that affect vulnerable New Yorkers. And we have worked with the Center for an Urban Future for many years on some of these issues. Much of the Schuyler Center's recent work, though, has been at the earlier end of the spectrum in high-quality early learning. High-quality early learning can lay the foundation that a child needs to succeed in school and in higher education and in life. And we know that particularly for kids from low-income communities and children of color, that access to high-quality early learning is extremely important. So, as I said, that's been much of our focus over the recent years. And we are delighted that there seems to be some traction both in New York City and here at the state level around improving access and quality to early learning experiences like pre-K and early childhood for our youngest learners. And I think of this as a continuum. So I'm delighted to be here today. I look forward to learning from all of you, the Center for an Urban Future, community college leaders, other education leaders from around the state, and making the connections that need to be made to develop a better continuum of learning that results in better education outcomes, better jobs, and better lives for all New Yorkers. So with that, I'd like to introduce Jonathan Bowles, the Executive Director of the Center for an Urban Future.
Thanks so much, Kate. Hi, everyone. It's really great to be here. I'm Jonathan Bowles. I run the Center for an Urban Future, which is a New York City-based policy institute that's focused on growing and diversifying New York's economy and expanding economic opportunity. And so for us, we publish reports, we hold forums about everything from the powerful impact that immigrant entrepreneurs are having in New York's economy to the importance of CTE programs, the role of public libraries as human capital institutions in today's economy, the potential to grow and diversify the economy through all sorts of different sectors that have potential. But one of the things that we've really focused on in recent years is just the important role of community colleges. And before I go further and talk a little bit about community colleges, I want to thank my staff that's helped put this together today, Cordelia Person, Ahmad Dowla, and Tom Hilliard, especially, who's done our research on community colleges. If you haven't seen our two reports, we've got one of them in our packet, but everybody, thank you, Tom, for all your great work on this issue. I also want to thank our funders for making this event happen. We couldn't do this without the great support we've gotten from the Working Poor Families Project. Deborah Povich is here from WPFP, but it's a really amazing national initiative that's working on some of the critical issues facing working poor individuals in this country. That's an initiative of the Casey, Ford, Joyce, and Kresge Foundations. Also, the Lumina Foundation, which, as many of you know, has done so much great work on kind of college completion issues. We're really proud to have them as a funder as well. But really, we're here today, and we've titled this conference "Platforms for Mobility," and I was really took great care in kind of coming up with that title, and I think that we kind of use that phrase in part because we really believe that community colleges are playing an increasingly important role in individuals' economic success today, where a high school diploma is no longer sufficient to achieve a decent paying job. Community colleges, as we've shown in our research, as Tom Hilliard has shown, are also increasingly critical to employers across the state and to New York's economic competitiveness. But as powerful as community colleges are today in New York State, there's more that could be done to harness their full potential. At a time when so many New Yorkers are struggling to get ahead in this economy, community colleges should be part of the solution for restoring economic mobility, restoring New York as a place where individuals from low-income backgrounds can rise up into the middle class. Right now, just 44.6% of the state's working-age population has at least an associate's degree. At the same time, community colleges clearly have room for improvement. The 6-year graduation rate is just 35% statewide and 29% in New York City. There are clearly understandable reasons for those low rates, which aren't that different from the same rates nationwide. But we can do better. As we have shown, even a small increase in community college completion rates will provide a significant boost to New York's economy. We're really thrilled to have a top-notch group of experts here today to help us understand the challenges and opportunities presented by community colleges in New York, and hopefully to come up with some specific ideas for progress. Before we get to the panel, though, we're in for a real treat. We have a wonderful keynote speaker, Richard Kazis. When Tom Hilliard and I were first discussing this event back over the summer, we were actually talking with someone in the governor's office, and really became clear that to put this event together and to try to put some ideas in front of policymakers in New York, it would be so helpful to have someone from outside of New York with a broader perspective on what other cities and states are doing, what New York might learn from other places. And we really thought that Richard would be such a great person that could do that for us, and we're thrilled to have him here today. Richard is Senior Vice President of Jobs for the Future, which is an organization based in Boston that is working with more than 100 communities across 39 states to improve the pathways leading from high school to college to family-sustaining careers. He leads JFF's policy and advocacy initiatives. Since joining JFF in the early 1990s, his area of focus has included state and institutional strategies for improving outcomes for low-income community college students, policies to promote low-wage worker advancement, state policies to promote college and career readiness for struggling students, and school-to-career models and policy. Everyone, please join me in welcoming Richard.